Drinking that, huh? Braver than I.
Hey.
Hey.
Pop Soda Shop makes the best meals you will have in Vegas. Why not stop by and treat your taste buds? Pop Soda Shop makes the best meals you will have.
Welcome to the hub of grub, Freeside Co-Op. Go inside and speak to Ella if you're looking for Vegas-made produce for a reasonable price. Wow, I think I managed to say the catchphrase right this time. Gotta say that's a shock. Doesn't matter, I'm getting paid either way. Anyway, you're welcome to keep your weapons, but any sign of trouble and you'll be getting a bullet straight in your eyes. We've already had one robbery, so any funny business won't be tolerated. I'm not paid to know the details. You should ask Ella about it. Something about food and farmers or something. Do I like working here? What the fuck do you think? How would you like to spend most of your day with sore feet dealing with the locals? Dumber than a bag of rocks, I swear. No matter how many times I say, talk to Ella. They come back and ask me anyway. Don't even get me started on those two fuckers across the road shouting the same tired slogans day in and day out until you have a migraine. So no, I fucking hate my job. Any more stupid questions? Yeah, I'm afraid so. I was on break and that's when they struck. I'd ask Ella. She might have a job to go catch the bastards. Finally, I've been waiting for a smoke break all day.
Have in Vegas. Why not stop by and treat your taste buds?
Welcome to the Freeside Co-Op. Haven't seen your face around here before. You a newcomer in town? You'll know this place better than me then. I moved here only a few weeks back and it's been hard to settle in. Doesn't help when you're colloquially known as the NCR bitch. Don't worry about that though. That's just dumb idiots being dumb idiots. They'll accept this place in time. Well, I'd like to think so anyway. Now, is there anything I can get you? It's a store my father and I set up. We provide an outlet for the goods of local Vegas farmers. It's a win-win situation. We get paid and the farmers get access to a much larger customer base both in Vegas and back home in the NCR. The farmers wouldn't be able to get their produce anywhere near as far without us. Try explaining that to them though. They'll just end up grumbling about how we're eating into their profits, the profits we help them get. So, if you know anyone reasonable who's looking to sell produce, tell them all about the co-op. If you're wondering what exactly you can buy, it's fresh produce straight from the farm. We also sell all manner of pre-war food. Now, with all that said, is there anything I can get you? If it's an omelet you're wanting, it'll only be 5 minutes. God, no. When I first thought about moving out to the frontier, I was expecting excitement, adventure. Instead, it mostly just smells of piss and disappointment. Although that may just be the locals. Got a word of advice for you, stranger. Watch your caps out there, especially near Mick and Ralph's. Pickpockets everywhere. Nobody would stand for that back home in the Republic. NCR police would sort them out quick. I wouldn't be able to look myself in the mirror if that were me. Yeah, you've got that wasteland hard-ass look about you. If I didn't already have Roy out front, then there'd maybe be a job opening. People like me, you, and Roy are what people should be looking up to out there. Too many people depended on those hippies over at the old fort. This place could be a lot better if people were actually willing to put some effort in. Can't say I agree with you, stranger. You might not lead a fulfilling life, but perhaps you want a fulfilling meal instead. Well, it's no secret I'm from the Republic. My dad and I deal with a lot of local farmers, so the name Hawthorne is well known around these parts. Doesn't help when the Kings are riling people up, blaming us NCR folk for Freeside's problems. Sure thing. I can tell you what I know. What exactly do you want to know about? It's a cheap knockoff of those Vegas casinos. Most people who don't meet the cap requirements those bots ask for end up there. Put it this way, I'd love access to the Garrett twins' safe. Think that'd make me a very rich woman. They're the biggest gang in town. People around here seem to think they're good for the community. What, do they forget they need to pay that pretty boy by the water pump every time they want a drink? Anywhere else, they call that extortion. Anyway, enough about those jokers. What else can I do for you? It's owned by the Van Graffs. They're a powerful family from New Reno. Not to be messed with. They sell powerful energy weapons, so if you're looking for something exotic, then the Silver Rush is your best bet. Just make sure you keep your mouth shut, especially near Jean-Baptiste. Don't think I've heard anything good about that man. Sure do. Got plenty of problems around here that I can't take care of on account of having to work behind the counter. I'm needing someone who knows their way around a gun. I'd normally just use Roy, but I need him around to make sure I'm not held at gunpoint again. Can tell you more if you're interested. So, what do you say? Yeah, a couple of days ago was business as usual when all of a sudden a gang comes in and kicks the front door in, nearly taking it off its hinges. They were screaming at the top of their lungs, demanding I give them all the caps in the register. It shook me up a little, as it would anyone, but my pa taught me how to use a shotgun back on the ranch, so I bided my time. I hear the ringleader tell me to get out of town or I'd be leaving it in a body bag. My pa taught me not to let anyone threaten me that way. So, on their way out, I took a shot at one of them. Didn't hit the bastard clean enough, they managed to get away. I thought maybe the Kings would have come running to help with the gunshots so close by, but maybe they just don't care. Bastards. Those thieves managed to get away with my entire day's profits. I can't do without that money, I'm afraid. The job is to track them down and get my money back. There's a good share of the profits in it for you. Now, do you have any questions? He was out to lunch down at the Wrangler at the time. He's sweet on one of the escorts down there. Poor guy. Hasn't got the courage to just go and ask her out. There was a group of them. Ringleader seemed to be an older fella. The others seemed to look up to him. There were 2 women and 2 other guys with them. seemed like a cobbled together bunch. Maybe they were all a gang. Guess he got lucky, or my aim is just shit. Strange world we live in. I heard on the radio that some courier survived getting shot in the head in Good Springs. Maybe it's the same person. I don't have the spare caps, I'm afraid. Only got enough to hire an extra mercenary, and guess who that is? I guess I could go ask my pa for help, but I know what he's like. He worries too much. I can handle this myself. So, yeah, you'll have to deal with this little problem for me. I've got a decent idea of where you should start, but there's one more thing you should know first. You're not the first merc I've sent on this job. Hired another armed merc, decent price too. Went by the name of Frank Adams, local around here. I never pegged him to be a tough guy, but I guess you've got to be to survive out there on a diet of radroach meat. Always seemed like a fairly quiet kid, but I guess people can surprise you. For example, who knew I'd be in business in my late 20s? When Frank heard about the robbery, he offered to investigate as long as I could pay him well. Naive young kid undercut himself, I think. Either way, I'm not one for complaining when I get a good deal. I'm starting to think it might have been him that robbed me, and he's came back for a double dip. Kid was always dirt poor. Either way, I think he's our best lead. You might want to start by talking to his drunken ass of a friend, Billy. He can be found at the Atomic Wrangler, most likely crawling on the floor drunk. Watch yourself there. I swear the car dealer's cheating that dump. Anyway, you need anything else before you go? Come back soon now.
Desert heat got you down? Why not grab a refreshing soda
The Atomic
Elolitas?
Wrangler has you covered.
Well, at least you can't beat the prices.
Do you have to tip the dealers so much?
It's etiquette.
What you're doing goes...
What are you looking at? Can a man get a drink in this town without some clown trying to start some small talk? What is it you want? Yeah, of course I know Frank. We go way back. I've been watching out for that kid for years. Nowadays, he won't listen to a word I say. You know what it's like with the young. Think they know best. Well, I can tell you that he isn't here anymore. In Freeside, I mean. What kind of business is it of yours? I thought people knew to keep their nose out of other people's affairs here. Keep that up in Freeside, and you're more likely to get a knife in your belly than an answer. I just hope the same hasn't happened to Frank. He's not exactly built to live in this environment, and I've not seen him in days. Last I saw him wasn't here on Friday night. We like to toast to all the good times and the scrap we collected over the years. I really regret what I ended up saying, though. Let's just say we had a bit of an argument. Oh, got a party animal on our hands, do we? I've had to slow it down to every fortnight since I can't face the hangovers anymore. We had our little celebration here in the Wrangler on Friday, and dear God, we got blasted. That's when the kid starts going on about how Freeside isn't for him anymore. We had a pretty sweet gig going. The amount of valuable stuff you can find in the garbage is insane. One man's forgotten waste is another's treasure, or whatever the saying is. Hey, this is the smell of hard work, I'll have you know. You wouldn't know it if it came and bit you in the ass. This is what I was trying to tell Frank. Hard work pays off. There are no shortcuts in life. He said the real money was in mercenary work. He didn't take it too well when I said that kind of work is not for him. Most of those types go through some military training before they enter that line of work. Frank could barely catch one of those rats on the street. He stormed out yelling about how he'll show me, and I haven't seen him again since. I honestly wish I could take everything back. Oh, sorry. Just before he... Wait a minute. How do I know this ain't some sort of trick? Maybe Frank did become a merc after all. I know how cutthroat that business is. As far as I know, you could be wanting to kill him. What makes you think I'll tell you? I really shouldn't. Should I? Right enough, I'm sure Frank would understand. He knows a bargain when he sees one. Okay, I'm listening. What's this contest then? That sounds like a challenge. Tell you what, I'll tell you where he went if you manage to drink at least 3 shots of a vodka of my choosing. The swill those Garrett twins cook up is hella strong. Sounds like we should get started. Let me pour you a shot. Well, that's 1 shot down. Good job. But pretty much anyone can handle at least 1. Guess it's my turn. Oh, God. Gotta say, you took that one like a champ. 2 is child's play, though. Looks like it's my turn again. Oh, fuck me. Well, you can certainly hold your liquor. Well, a promise is a promise. Before he left, Frank said every mercenary needs a secret hideout to stash their gear. I was skeptical about what he was saying. No idea where the kid learns these things. Either way, he said the El Rey Motel was a good place for that kind of thing. I hope he's alright. He's a good kid. He's like a little brother to me. His parents died young and I took him in. Kid has it in his head that he has to leave Freeside, strike it big. Guess he doesn't want to be a deadbeat like me. Yeah. I don't really care anyway.
Beyond etiquette.
Well, that's because it's not just a tip, it's a tribute. I'm not just thanking the dealer, I'm thanking Lady Luck for the good fortune.
Sounds to me like a bribe.
You say tomato,
Watch your caps in this place. Folks behind the bar are as likely to rob you as those in front of it.
I'm not paid to chat. Talk to the guy with the eye patch. He's the boss.
Sorry, stranger. I'm not feeling too great at the moment. Talk to Clive if you want small talk.
Howdy, stranger. Haven't seen you round these parts before. Maybe you could spare a few caps? This is the place to go where you've got nowhere else to be. Aerotech won't take us, on account of Conroy's little problem. I'm not gonna give up on him. That scumbag Fitz keeps him hopped up on Jet, even though he knows it's killing him. Problem is, Conroy can't go cold turkey, or it'll kill him. So, gotta take it slow and just hope he can wean himself off it. We sleep out here on account of the people going in those rooms and not coming back out. A lot of shady characters about this place. Anything else I can help you with? Who? Me? Not much to tell, stranger. Used to own a ranch back west, until I came here, trying to strike gold at Gomorrah. No matter how much I lost, always that voice in the back of my mind saying, it'll be black next time. House is no different from Fitz up there, preying on the same impulses, except he has the power to make the rules himself. Just goes to show that if you have enough caps, you can get people to think whatever the hell you want. Anyway, that's just me rambling. What else can I help you with? You see a whole bunch of shady individuals in this area. I don't know anybody by that name, but some people just stand out anywhere they go. Well, armored guy goes up and talks to Fitz on the balcony up there. No idea what they were chatting about, but it looked like they had a deal. Fitz must have rented out one of the rooms up there to him. Seemed a pretty quiet guy. Barely left the motel. If you ask me, he looked a bit out of his depth. Kinda had a nervous energy about him, with what little I did see. Ain't seen the guy for days. Then out of nowhere we hear this loud bang, a gunshot coming from his room. Sounded like a powerful round. I didn't make anything of it. A lot of people go into those rooms when life isn't for them anymore, if you catch my drift. Then a whole gang of shady motherfuckers I ain't seen before come rolling out that room. I wasn't gonna start asking questions. They dragged the man out the room. He looked dead to me, but he could have been unconscious. Couldn't tell you. Not too much, I'm afraid. Kept my head down on account of not wanting to get shot. I did see the ringleader talk to Fitz up there, but don't tell him I said that. Looks like they made a deal. That's about all I saw, stranger. I hope that helps you find him. Maybe this information's worth a few caps? God bless you, sir. How much can you spare? God is smiling on me today. You're a hero. This here'll keep me going for a while.
I'm not paid to chat. Go talk to the guy with the eye patch. He's the boss.
If I were you, I'd watch myself around these parts. I'm the king around here. Is that clear? Why would they do that? Me and the gang here ain't causing any problems. No matter what they say, they can't prove shit. If they change their mind, we can always move our business across the bridge. Got any more dumb questions? I pretty much run this joint. Anything going on around here better pass through my crew. Got that? Anything else you want, or can I have a smoke already? Depends. Are you NCR? Good. Keep it on the down low. I can get you set up with MedX, Jet, whatever gets you going. You again? What can I do for you? Someone doesn't know when to keep their mouth shut, it seems. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Problem is, I don't see what that has to do with you. Okay. We don't need any conflict here, do we? Just don't tell anyone about this. Breaking deals is bad for business. Glad we could reach an arrangement. The gang seemed to come across from the bridge. Sounds crazy as that's fiend territory. I trust my guard, though. She knows what she saw. One thing I could tell you is that they weren't fiends. When I looked through the binoculars to see them coming this way, they seem to know the perfect route past all the fiend patrols. They eventually get here, and their leader offers me a substantial amount of caps for access to the room your guy is staying in. Now, I'm a pretty loyal businessman. Each of my customers is like family, you see. I offer them a service no one else can provide them. As such, I would never sell out a paying customer, but I'm also clever enough to know that a shootout is bad for business. I tell my bodyguards to only shoot when it's needed. Well, after the gang leave, I talk to Conroy down there. You know, the old junkie by the car. Can you give him a little discount if you know what I'm saying? Scratch my back and I'll scratch his. Have him tail the gang and watch where they're going. Seem to go back across the bridge. They managed to leave just at the right time. The NCR guard was just changing shifts, so Conroy follows him. Says they were hiding out in some steel mill next to the old rock crushing plant. Now, knowing Conroy, he'd say anything for a fix. So you do what you think is best with that info. I say let sleeping dogs lie, but it's your life. Now, with that out of the way, can I go for a smoke already? Watch yourself on the way down.
We've got an intruder here. You there. Don't you move a muscle unless you want us to turn you into Swiss cheese. This is our turf. What the hell are you doing here? Better be a good fucking reason. I think you're misunderstanding the situation that you're in here. Last I checked, I'm the one asking questions here. Now, will you answer the fucking question? Come on already, tell me why the hell you're here. Now, why would a traveling merchant decide to settle on this side of the bridge only to get robbed by fiends? I think you're bullshitting me. Vultures, let's teach this liar a lesson, shall we?
Go. It doesn't have to be the day you die. Don't underestimate us again.
Another day, another raid. It's getting tougher to stay under the radar. What with the NCR relying more on bounty hunters to see them through. It's only going to get more difficult with the fiends taking hits. They're scum, but undoubtedly a good distraction. The people of Vegas are strong, regardless of what House and the Republic think. I have faith the Vultures will hold no matter what comes our way. We actually caught a merc tailing us the other day. Was snooping around just outside the mill, thinking we didn't catch wind of him. We ambushed him when he went back to his room at the El Rey. We lost Tracy. Poor girl. Gonna have to tell her parents. That's never an easy job. Thankfully, we still managed to incapacitate him. Kid thinks we're gonna throw him into the furnace. Might do if he insists on following us. We're lucky the boy was still green. All things considered, that could have gone far worse. Still, Tracy. The boy says that the Hawthorne girl hired him to track us down. Just like those bastards to go for cheap labor. Girl's tougher than she looks. Thought she would have skipped town after the robbery. Some things have got to be done the hard way, it seems. I offered the young kid, Frank's his name, a choice. He's a Vegas kid through and through, but you never know. Let's hope he makes the right decision.
Welcome back. At this rate, you'll be a regular. What can I get you? A street gang? Sounds like a good lead. While you were away, I did some digging and heard about a couple of people who've been robbed recently. The Crimson Caravan's been hit a few times recently. I also heard Cassidy Caravans and a few other smaller players got burned to a crisp too. I also remember Pa saying before I left that some of our caravans had been attacked coming and going from our ranches. Not sure which of the attacks are related, if any. Could be one big coincidence, but I'm starting to have my doubts. I wonder if there's a pattern. Definitely something to think about. Oh well, all that matters is that we catch the bastards. I want my caps back. Did you manage to overhear the name of the gang or anything that could help us? Any clue could help us catch them. Well, that's way lamer than I expected. Normally, raider gangs call themselves something intimidating, and I'm just left feeling kind of indifferent. There's duds in every avenue of life, I guess. Anyway, I recommend you go speak to Jackie over at the old Mormon fort. She's one of those hippies. The way I heard it, she's got some contacts in some gangs in Vegas. She's helped a few fiends rehabilitate. Either way, we need that old bat. Chat her up and see if you can learn anything about the vultures. You got any questions? As I said, she's one of the followers. Those kind of types pretend they're holier than thou, but they're human like the rest of us. But there's that old saying that never seems to disappear. I'll scratch your back and you scratch mine. Do her a favor and I'm sure she'll tell you what we want to know. Could also try sweet-talking her, or maybe she keeps a diary. I don't know. Either way, I'm sure you'll figure it out. Just try not to start any fights. I don't want that associated with my brand. Any other questions? The only thing I can tell you is they must be small time. I've heard of most gangs in Vegas. You got the Kings, the Scorpions. You've also got those bastard fiends, drugged out wackos. Never heard of the Vultures, though. Gotta say, that's a new one for me. Any other questions? My father is quite a powerful man. He's won quite a few big business deals and has a fair few ranches in his name. There's probably quite a few people jealous of our family, but honestly, that's just a guess. Who knows what these vultures want? Maybe there's a question you have that I can actually answer. Poor kid. Hope he's alright. Doesn't deserve this. Although he did sign up for a job, so he must have known what to expect. Don't worry about him. Your main focus should be getting my caps back. We'll cross the Frank Bridge when it comes to it. Any other questions? Good. Go and see what that old bat knows then. Come back soon now.
We've got stuff we're not even allowed to sell, people.
New to Freeside?
Only at Mick
Looking for a good time? Why don't you stop by Desire?
Stop by Cherry's Bakery for the freshest baked goods in Vegas.
Sorry, stranger. I'm not sure you're talking to the right person. I'm only a simple therapist, and from what I can see, you're not one of my clients. If you're looking for medical attention, or if you want to donate supplies, then you should talk to Julie. She's the young woman with the mohawk. Although, you do look pretty weathered. No offense. I help raiders get out of the lifestyle if you're needing someone to talk to. Don't worry, stranger. I didn't mean anything bad by it. You just look like someone who can look after themselves. It's sort of become my specialty, rehabilitating raiders, that is. Well, if you're not an ex-raider, how can I help you? As I told you before, I'm a simple therapist. I typically help people who badly need someone to talk to. I normally help people overcome addiction, which is unfortunately a massive task in Freeside. If you've not already, talk to Julie. She's got a few ideas on helping out the community. What else can I help you with? I can tell you this is not the place to be if you're a recovering addict. It's very hard to remain sober in this town. Especially with that slimeball Dixon and his ilk peddling chems on every corner. I don't have much else to tell you, I'm afraid. I can answer any other questions you might have, though. Whoever you heard that from was right. Yeah, I know about them. I could tell you, but it depends. What do you want with them? Robbing local businesses sounds very out of character for them. Normally, they stick to NCR or raider targets. See, their leader is a man named Hosea. He used to be one of us, the followers, I mean. He was sick of the NCR pushing the common folk around, taking what they want, sending all of Vegas's electricity and water back to California. I sympathize with him, but there are better ways to fight that don't involve violence. Unfortunately, that's not the prevailing opinion out there in the wastes. I know Hosea. He's an idealist at heart. He wouldn't do that without having a good reason for it. Unless the man has changed over the years. We still keep in touch. We were close while he was still one of us, and still send each other letters from time to time. If he were to abandon his silly crusade, we'd welcome him back. We could really use his help these days. It's always wise to meet someone yourself first, before you make up your mind about them. But we just met. I don't know if I can trust you. You might just go ahead and murder Hosea. I can't do that to one of my old friends. But there is something you could do to help me trust you, if you don't mind doing me a favor, that is. I'm glad we could come to an agreement. Trust me, helping the unfortunate in Vegas is something we could all stand to do a little more of. What I need is a bit of a long story, so I'll try to be as brief as possible. A few weeks back, a little girl came through that gate there. She couldn't have been older than 6 years old. Her parents were nowhere to be found, which is sadly a more common occurrence than you think. It's getting rougher out there, I swear. I beg you to show some compassion. She's only a young girl, and I couldn't imagine going through the same trauma at her age. I don't think she spoke a word for an entire week, that poor girl. Eventually, we got her to open up a little after some therapy. She's still not 100%, but these things take time, unfortunately. I hope she's going to be all right. I managed to piece together what I could of her story, and it seems like she's the survivor of a raider attack. The family was ambushed just outside of Westside, coming out of the Thorn, and her parents were shot right in front of her. Animals. When we got the girl talking, she kept joking about how her father was always losing his watch. The watch was missing from the corpses when I went to go talk to the militia. The gang responsible must have taken it. I'd like you to retrieve that pocket watch. It would mean a lot to her, and also a lot to me. Do we have a deal? I think the most likely culprit is the Scorpion Gang. They hang out by the Monte Carlo suites. It's likely they take the loot back there after their raids. I don't think the watch will be any exception. You get that trinket, and I'll organize your meeting with Hosea. Have you got any questions? I have no idea what you're talking about. Just get the watch, and we've got a deal. Thankfully, we managed to find a generous family back west to take her in. They always wanted a daughter after years of trying themselves. Still, this kind of trauma doesn't leave you. It sticks with you until the day you die. All you can do is manage it. I'd like to give her something to remember her parents by. You get that watch, and I can make sure she gets it in her hands. Any other questions? They operate out of the Monte Carlo suites, just outside of Westside. They may not be as strong as the fiends, but they're not to be messed with. The Westside militia usually keeps them from striking the town directly. They usually prey on any townie or outsider who strays too far from town. Be careful around there, and always keep your weapon handy. Any other questions? I'd put my money on their leader, Yvette, having the watch. I recommend going in with a stealth boy, if you want to avoid combat. She's likely carrying it on her. You might be able to swipe it off her if you get lucky. Any other questions? Okay, good. Come back with the watch, and I'll set up the meeting.
What's up?
Going to the Wrangler tonight? Nah.
Are they?
Yeah, we'll snoop them out. As enlightening as this has all been, this how you imagine it
Got
goes?
one. Come on! I'm out of here!
They killed her!
Can't keep the engine running if you use the wrong fuel. Wherever the trail takes us. Hopefully that's all the ceiling that decides to crumble. Another beautiful day in the most dangerous place in the world.
Someone a while back told me how much he enjoyed mute fruit. Is that how you say it? I've been saying mud fruit. I think I prefer my way.
And we're back. This is Mr. New Vegas, and I feel something magic in the air tonight, and I'm not just talking about the gamma radiation. Here are our top stories. A package courier found shot in the head near Good Springs has reportedly regained consciousness and made a full recovery. Now that's a delivery service you can count on.
So, I get the idea behind nuking places like New York or DC or whatever. But why waste bombs on Vegas, of all places?
This according to an old man armed to the teeth with dynamite. Well, that's all I have for you. This is Mr. New Vegas wishing you ladylike luck tonight. Got some songs coming up for you right now. At least one is probably about love.
Hello again. How can I help you? Oh, have you? That's great news. The little one will be so glad. Thank you so much for your help. About the meeting I promised, I'll send a letter to my contact. Hosea should meet you if I put in a good word for you. The meeting place should be in one of the rooms on the second floor of the Gray in North Vegas. Hosea and Crandon came to an agreement that the Vultures could stay there for their help defending the town. Try and convince Hosea to turn himself in, or at least stop the attacks. This doesn't have to end in violence. If it does, then it will be the people of North Vegas who will be caught in the crossfire. Now, I can't decide for you, but at the very least, think on my word, stranger. Good luck. Now, is there anything else I can do for you? Oh, we go way back. We used to both work in the library at the Boneyard. I'd say those were the days, but that's just nostalgia talking. We both used to peruse the history section, and we'd get to talking about our favorite periods of history. He was a charming young man back then, and we certainly grew close. That all changed when he got transferred to an outpost on the frontier. We still keep in touch, though, despite him feeling a bit more distant with every letter sent back and forth. Long-distance relationships always seem doomed to fail, don't they? Just let me know if you ever need to chat.
Looking for a bite to eat before hitting the strip? Come over to Pop's for the best food in Vegas.
If this holotape has found you, then you've found what remains of Ella Hawthorne. You might not understand why we've done this. She was the daughter of Jack Hawthorne, one of the largest Brahmin barons in the NCR. I'm sure you know the name. This was the Republic's attempt to slowly take over the farming industry in Vegas. Fair to say, that attempt now lies in ashes. I know you've been working with Hawthorne, and now I'm giving you the chance to do what's right. Come meet me in the Gray, 2nd floor. I'll be waiting.
So you've seen Hosea's work firsthand then? I saw the whole thing. Poor girl didn't stand a chance as soon as the shooting started. Bastards have got a grudge against the NCR. Ella was one of us, and we'll make them pay for what they've done. I've heard you're something of a mercenary around these parts, so I'm here to let you know that the bear rewards its friends handsomely. Especially those that help in the fight against terrorist scum. Now, my sources tell me that you've secured a meeting with Hosea. Is that correct? I'm sure you have many. I'll answer what I can. Shoot. Let's just say I have some friends in the Republic. All will become clear in time. Anything else you want to ask? Do you know why it's called the Freeside Co-Op? No? Well, the girl's father is the charitable type. This is just what happens when you try to help these animals. I swear the troops should just come and occupy the shithole. Either way, Ella was one of our own. Hosea will learn the hard way that when you mess with one of us, then you'll have to deal with all of us. How about knowing you helped the NCR stop a dangerous terrorist? If that doesn't interest you, then how does 1,000 caps sound? Her father, Jack Hawthorne, is a very powerful man in the Republic. Made his name building a Brahmin empire. He's helped create a lot of jobs for the folks east of Klamath over the years. He won't be best pleased when he hears of the news. As for why they killed her, could be to get to Old Man Jack. Who knows? Trying to get in the mind of Hosea is a hard task, I'm afraid. Good. Glad I could help. Now, back to talking about that meeting you've got with Hosea. Would I be right in my assumption? Great. Looks like we can use you after all. As much as I'd like to string that bastard up right now, the brass hasn't given me the go-ahead. We've heard rumors from the locals that the Vultures might have discovered something big. Command thinks it could be something dangerous. They don't want to leave our outposts open to retaliation without a full reconnaissance of their capabilities. So what I want you to do is go to this meeting with Hosea and try to get in his good books. Figure out what he's got planned. Do that, and you'll be rewarded for your efforts. So what do you say? Better than nothing. If you can find out where their stronghold is located and what they're planning, then we've got that asshole dead to rights. Come meet me and my squad at Camp Golf once he trusts you. I'll have more work for you there if you're looking for more opportunities to get paid. Let me warn you though, if I see you throwing your lot in with Hosea, then it won't just be him staring at the barrel of a rifle on the wall. Got that? Good. Now off you go.
Pop's Soda Shop makes the best meals you will have in Vegas. Why not stop by and treat your taste buds? Looking for a bite to eat before hitting the strip? Come over to Pop's for the best food.
What's up?
Makes me happy I don't eat.
No one gets in to see the boss without my say-so. So you're the one the boss told me about. Yeah, you definitely look the part. Go right on through. He's waiting for you.
NCR should head back to their lands. I'm sure their people
So you
miss them.
came after all. Nice to meet you.
Hey there.
Come, take a seat up here at the table when you're ready. So we finally meet. Jackie told me about you. I bet you were expecting someone a lot more intimidating when you first heard the stories. Sorry for not living up to your imagination. The title of Raider Boss doesn't really conjure up images of a 70-year-old man, does it? No matter. It's good to finally put a face to the name I've been hearing so much about. I have no idea why, but I have a good feeling about you. Probably just nostalgia. Used to be a young nomad myself, always on the lookout for raiders. God, that was probably before you were even born. Anyway, enough about me. What made you decide to come here after all? Well, let me explain why. But first, I have something that might interest you. The Hawthorne girl hired you before, and now I'd like to do the same. Don't worry, you'll be paid accordingly. But I'm also offering you a dream of something more. A Vegas free of NCR rule. We're in desperate need of a new system. We're heading down the same path that the old world did, and we can't just stand by and watch it happen. You look like you might want to know more. The Brahmin barons of the NCR are rot that's been allowed to fester. Corruption runs rampant in the halls of Congress because of those bastards. It wasn't always like this. The Republic used to be a far better place. It finally offered a real semblance of safety in the wasteland. Laws were once written to serve the people. Not so much anymore, I'm afraid. Let me give you an example. When President Tandy was in office, there was a limit on the amount of cattle and land a single person could own. The bigger landowners couldn't just be content with their success. They needed to have more to satisfy their greed. In order for that to happen, things would need to change. The barons turned to large-scale lobbying to achieve their goals. As the years passed after Tandy's death, regulation was slowly peeled back, until Kimball decided to repeal the land limit entirely. This allowed the cattle market to monopolize, and proved that the rich and powerful hold too much sway over the fate of the Republic. Most people in the NCR are good people, if you give them a chance. However, I agree, the best way to kill a snake is to cut off its head. Leadership and policies need to change for the betterment of all, and not just those ruthless enough to exploit the labor of others. They did. But when people aren't even offered a choice to the contrary, did they really? Look at the biggest contributors in the past 3 elections since Tandy's death, and tell me the system still works. The same names keep popping up. Gunderson, Hawthorne, Weston. Although, yes, you're correct. The people voted them in. Politicians live and die by their funding. Just like everything else in this world, money is king. These people have massive influence on the policies each political party run on, to the point where the working man does not have a representative. And so it was a lie sold to the people. A truly free market that would allow anyone with the determination to be a success in the Republic. And what a lie it was. The farmhands who voted Kimball in are working longer hours and getting paid less than what they were all those years ago. Small caravans, businesses, and ranch owners have been pushed out of the market completely as the bigger outfits monopolize. Is that a system you think is worth saving? Ah, a mercenary at heart, are we? Fair enough. Well, the pay is good either way, which I'm sure will please you. Even if you don't care, doing a good deed is good for the soul. Either way, I'm sure you've already made your mind up. So what'll it be then? Will you help us? Very well. I'll do what I can to answer. And remember, my door is always open. Ask me anything at any time that suits you. I assume the doubt in your voice refers to the sheer size of the NCR. Well, that certainly makes us have to scale back our ambitions. We can't beat the Republic in a conventional war. Yet, anyway. My plan is to severely damage their supply line. It's looking likely, despite their incompetence, that they will defeat the Legion when they come knocking at the dam again. With enough recruits and the correct people on my side, we might be able to delay them annexing the area by hitting their supply lines hard. When the troops at the dam start going hungry, the Republic will show its true colors. Then the people of Vegas will defend their home. Revolution in its purest form. Sadly, war might be what is needed. If an opportunity arises to avoid it, I will gladly take it. It's either that or live to work for the rich few. A badly beaten NCR will not have the stomach for a long, drawn-out war after their narrow victory over Caesar's Legion. In the end, Vegas will choose what is right. Now, is there anything else you wanted to talk about? It sounds like a pejorative name, doesn't it? Well, originally it was. Some rag in the Republic called us that after one of our raids. Smooth operation, that was. Took the food intended for McCarran and fed many a person in outer Vegas for a solid week. Ever since reading that, me and everyone else in the gang have wore that name as a badge of honor. I don't know much about House, but who does, really? The only thing I can judge him by are his actions. I see a city built on heaps and heaps of both old American dollars and bottle caps. A place of tremendous wealth, surrounded on all sides by poverty. While House and the 3 families get richer, children all over starve. My question would be, where is this wealth going? Is whatever House is building worth all the misery he's conveniently ignoring in New Vegas? That tower alone could house several thousand people. Instead, he uses it to stockpile caps for God knows what. Well, that's a good question, and a very important one to answer for a truly free New Vegas to prosper. The Legion taking control of the area might be the only thing worse than a decisive NCR victory. That's why it's important to hit the NCR at the correct time. We can't weaken them to the point where they lose the Battle of Hoover Dam. The Vultures are tough, but I truly do not believe they're ready for the level of brutality that Caesar and his legate bring. Ironically, as much as it pains me, we need the NCR to hold off the Legion. They're the only ones who have the resources to do so. For all our sakes, I'm praying for a Pyrrhic NCR victory. It's our best shot of a truly independent New Vegas. Now, don't get me wrong, I have a lot of respect for the followers. They truly do care about people, which is sadly not too common in the wasteland. I learned a lot over the years. They taught me how to read and write, which goes a long way in the world. The amount of knowledge that can be gathered from pre-war books is truly staggering. If you've ever had the privilege to visit a pre-war library, then you'll know what I'm talking about. Without them, I wouldn't be anywhere near as good a physician as I am today. I also met a lot of great people, like Jackie, over the years. Sadly, a few years back, I just felt it was time to leave. It just wasn't for me anymore. I looked around at all the good we'd done, but I also realized that things were just going to get worse because the NCR didn't want to change. I kept thinking, if you're not willing to fight for it, what's the point of believing in the potential for a better world? The truth is that no one really does. Everyone is trying to make the best of a bad situation. Clearly, what the followers have been doing hasn't worked, so it's on us to try something different. Otherwise, Vegas will be trapped in the same cycle of poverty with no end in sight. Oh, you mean Frank. He's safe and sound. You might be meeting him sooner than expected. Any other questions? I had her killed because she and her family are a group of parasites, taking control of the market from hard-working Vegas farmers. They pitch their store as a Freeside Co-Op, when all they do is function as a middleman, taking caps for nothing. First, we tried to intimidate her to leave. Ideally, this would have been resolved without bloodshed. However, she didn't learn her lesson. She hired mercs like you to find and harm us, and for that she had to die. I hope you can see I was just protecting my people. Now, any other questions? Very well. Now, back to what I was saying. Are you interested in joining us, or have you not made your mind up? Good. You're just the type of person I need. Although the NCR has been trying to get a mole in here for a few weeks now. So I'm afraid I'm gonna have to send you off on a little task to prove yourself. I want you to go meet a fellow new recruit. You and him have more in common than you know. Go meet him at the El Rey Motel. He'll be waiting. Use the passphrase, "Hit the beast while it slumbers." If it's him, he should understand and fill you in on the details. Now, it's been good chatting, but these old bones need some rest. So I'll catch up with you once your task is complete. Good hunting.
Sam has a new sheriff. That should keep the powder gangers away. Careful with those fiends in the western sewers.
Time to hit the road?
Prim has a new sheriff. That should keep the powder gangers away.
Hi, do I know you? So you're the one I'm supposed to be waiting for? You're not what I expected. I was expecting a badass merc with an entire arsenal on their back. I heard you knew Ella quite well. Me too. I really wish things could have gone different for her. She seemed like a really sweet girl. She was always really nice to me. I didn't really see the bad in her that everyone was talking about. Hosea seemed to have his reasons, though. He's a man with a vision. NCR are bleeding us dry, and I'm ready to fight just like you are. Has Hosea filled you in with what we'll be doing? He must be testing my memory. Well, he won't be disappointed, thankfully, as your man here has a good memory. The NCR transport crops using caravans from the local farms from here to the Mojave outpost and then further on to NCR territory. That corn could feed all of Vegas, so what he needs us to do is obtain the caravan schedule. Because I've already done my part for the cause, and I'm only here because Hosea says I need to learn the value of teamwork. I'd rather not tell you anymore if you're all right with that. I couldn't tell you exactly, but I reckon Hosea will have us take the cargo when the caravans are vulnerable. I think he'll use what we get to feed the hungry around Vegas. I could be wrong. I'm not really aware of what the strategy is exactly. You got any more questions? Okay then, glad I could help. Meet me back here once you've got the schedule, unless there's anything else I can help you with? You did? That must be why Hosea was so quick finding you. He must have realized you were hot on his heels. I'll never forget that night. I knew someone had been watching me all day ever since leaving Ella's place. It was later, when I went out scavenging near those houses near the old steel mill, when I noticed the same people who were watching me in Freeside. That's when I knew they were definitely following me, so later that night, I slept with my pistol close by the pillow. When they came, that's when I had to pull the trigger for the first time. I had to watch that lady die. It's not a nice thing to see that. I still see the look in her eyes when I sleep. It haunts me. I don't know how the raiders do it. For money? Survival? That's the last thing I remember seeing before I got knocked out and dragged to the steel mill. Hope that answers your question. I'm as shocked as you are, honestly. When they captured me, I thought I was a goner for sure. It's not very often you kill a gang member in Vegas in front of their friends and live to tell the tale. I thought they were gonna kick me in the furnace the entire time I was tied up in that godforsaken mill. After a few hours, though, Hosea told them to loosen my restraints and come sit downstairs with him. I didn't have much choice in the matter, so I went and listened to what he had to say. I don't quite know how to put it, stranger, but everything Hosea said just sort of made sense. There's no real reason why the people of Freeside should be treated like dirt.
We're no different from those big wigs on the strip. We're all flesh and blood at the end of the day.
He said NCR are only here for the water in some big old lake. That sounds like them. I know what they're like. One time, some NCR grunts stole me and Billy's claim near Nelson. We got there fair and square, but he pointed his gun at us and threatened us. Anyway, back to the mill. That's when Hosea offered me a choice. One to really change things around here. To hell with being a killer just for caps. I don't have it in me. If I need to kill, it has to be for something. I told Hosea that, and from there, he let me join. It's rough going, but I think this might be the life for me, you know? See you later, mister.
Make me stew in my own juices, huh? All right.
How about that? Not often they let outsiders in here. Oh well, they don't pay me enough to care. Just try to keep out of trouble. Well, I'll be damned. That is good news. Here's to hoping they change the shift rotations too. This post has been a real drag lately. Hollow disk is just to the right of me. Go ahead and take it.
Wherever the trail takes us.
Welcome back. Do you have the schedule? I hope Hosea doesn't think we're taking too long.
You have? That's great! We're supposed to meet Hosea back at Firewater Cave once we're finished here. I'll mark it on your map. I've got to attend to this delivery first, sadly. Maybe I'll see you again later at camp. Good luck.
Take one more step, and I'll turn your head into paste. You don't look like NCR. Who the fuck are you? Friendly fire? What the fuck are you talking about? Wait, you must be one of the new recruits Hosea mentioned. Now, if you're done with your weak-ass threats, I'm Paula, and I'm the one unlucky enough to have the responsibility of watching the front door. This here is Firewater Cave. This little shithole cave is one of the only places outside of NCR jurisdiction. Try not to steal anyone's bed. I swear, if I need to deal with bed bugs again because some lazy prick can't seal their kit properly, seems like you know your shit then. The people around here will take any bed they can get, so that liner you mentioned might come in handy. Anyway, before you go, I'll give you a quick rundown of this place. If you need patching up, I recommend you go speak to Beth. She can be found right at the bottom of this cave, just before the hermetic door into that godforsaken bunker. If you're needing weapons, ammo, or just general repairs, then Dexter is the man you're looking for. That guy is mighty good with a screwdriver and a wrench, let me tell you. Wouldn't mind having his skills. Now, with that out of the way, is there anything else I can do for you, or you good? Sorry, I don't really know that much. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm here because of Hosea, and Hosea only. One of the others can maybe help you. Beth or Dexter know a lot more than me. However, your best bet is Hosea. He has a way with words, that man. To be honest, don't tell anyone I said this. I don't really care much about NCR and taking the power back and all that shit. I'm loyal to Hosea because I believe in him. He saved my life, and I know he's a good person at heart. I will follow that man to hell and back. You got more questions, or can I get back to my post? Who? Me? Only person to really care who I was before becoming a vulture is Hosea. I'm afraid there's not much to tell. I can't quite say I had a life-changing moment or anything, but if you insist. Where do I begin? I guess I grew up in North Vegas and had to scrape by like every other kid who was unlucky enough to be born there. In those sorts of places, you either join a gang or you starve to death alone with a needle in your arm. Strength in numbers is a powerful mantra. Then my lucky day comes along. Me and the gang go prospecting, looking for scrap to sell to the local merchants at the time. There was no Crimson Caravan in the Mojave at the time. Otherwise, I would have just become a caravan guard back then. Life would have been much simpler, let me tell you. Raiders still would have put a bullet in me, but at least I would have been paid well. Yeah, you heard that one right. I took a bullet and lived to tell the tale. Guess you could call me lucky. I think I must have passed out from the shock. Those snakes, the ones who said they were my friends, yeah, they just fucking left me. Woke up in some traveling doctor's place with not a cap to pay the man. Take a guess who it was? Luckily, Hosea didn't much care for payment. It was the first time I found someone who wasn't just looking out for themselves, and that was when I knew Hosea was special. I wasn't about to leave my debt unpaid and go back to a gang that didn't care for me in the first place. So that's when I decided to become Hosea's bodyguard. Loyalty is one of the only things we have down in this cave. Nobody is here for the caps. Although, with you being a mercenary, that may have changed. Regardless, I believe in Hosea, and he believes in us. Now, I've talked your ear off enough, and I should really be getting back to work. Is there anything else I can do for you, or will I get back to my post? Got it. Remember, you're welcome here anytime.
This is some place, huh? Hope you don't mind hearing the screams of feral beasts.
Don't let me
while you
spoil your
sleep.
meal.
The NCR will know what hit them.
Can't wait to get some time off and go to the Thorn. I could really go for a snack. You got any recommendations? I'm so done with Salisbury steak.
Ah, good to see you again. Welcome to Firewater Cave. I hope Paula didn't give you too rude of a welcome. Don't worry, she's just being protective. You'll be friends in no time. Anyway, how did you get on? Did you manage to get the caravan schedule? That's good news. Once Frank manages to get them to our agents in the field, I'll give the gang the green light for another few raids. I know North Vegas has been struggling lately, so they'll be happy when they see the haul we get from those caravans. We don't have an official ceremony or anything, but let me welcome you to the Vultures. You're welcome to stay here as long as you need. Nah, don't be silly. It's me who should be honored. If it weren't for brave people like you, then Vegas would be truly lost. Anyway, I reckon you'll want to meet everyone in camp. They'll be happy to walk you through their responsibilities and their day-to-day jobs. Once you've got settled in, I'd like to have a word with you. I have a job which requires someone with your talents.
The NCR won't know it hit 'em.
Oh, hi. It's nice to meet you. I'm Dexter, and you must be the new recruit. I'm the guy who fixes everything around here, so let me know if you need help. So what can I do for you? I mean, where do I start with a question like that? The NCR calls us terrorists, but what do you call what they did to the cons at Bear Springs? They're fucking hypocrites. What they did there was worse than anything we've ever done. I don't think there's any debating that. We do what's necessary. If the NCR won't change, then we'll make them. Slowly but surely make them bleed. Now, are you gonna buy anything, or are you just here to rile me up about the NCR? I'm the handyman around here. Odds and ends that need fixed up, I can help out. People normally tell me to fix their guns and armor. I also know how to mix gunpowder, and I know which bullet casings work best at punching through that trooper armor. So if you need armor-piercing rounds, just let me know, and I can provide them if you've got the caps. He's a good leader. I might not always agree with some of the methods we use, but what alternative do we have in Vegas? House? He only cares about what's going on inside the Strip's gates. He doesn't care about everyone in Vegas. The Legion? They're worse than the NCR in every way. I'd rather send all my caps straight to Kimball's cabinet, lining their pockets even more. No. An independent Vegas is the only way for the people to truly win, and that's what Hosea is offering. So sign me up. Sure, come into Dexter's laboratory.
I wish those damn radio stations would get some new songs already.
So you're the one Hosea was talking about. I'm Beth, and I'm the doctor around here. I can patch you up, or provide you some medical supplies, but you'll have to pay for what you take. Supplies are tight, unfortunately, otherwise I'd fix you up for free. But for now, we gotta be stingy. You joined up without knowing what we're all about? For me, we're trying to create a fair new Vegas. A true meritocracy. People get what they put in. Make no mistake, though. Even those who don't or are incapable of work should be treated like human beings and not forced to starve like in the NCR. I met a few retired NCR veterans in my time, back when I was traveling, some of whom lost their legs to Brotherhood landmines. Those people are given a medal and left to fend for themselves. If they don't have any family to take care of them, then they're left to rot. We can be different from the NCR, though. Everyone in Vegas should be treated with dignity and respect. Odd that the tribal societies in the Utah area are often called uncivilized when they'll actually look after their own. Ask someone else why they joined the Vultures and you might get a different answer. For me, it's the hope that Vegas can offer something different. Man, it feels weird talking politics without being 6 bottles deep, but I guess it's always good to remind yourself of why you're here. Sorry I talked your ear off. Maybe there's something else I can do for you? Ah, okay. We may as well start getting to know each other as we're in this for the long haul. Funnily enough, I was a traveling doctor, just like Hosea was at one time. I didn't have the privilege of being in the followers, though. I did have a good teacher in Westside back in the day, even if some of their practices were questionable. Those were some of the busiest days in my life. The line of patients just never ended, and you had to work with limited stims and meds. Do you know how heartbreaking it is to tell someone their child won't make it? Years and years of that really takes its toll. That's the reason why, when meeting Hosea, joining up was the easiest decision of my life. Maybe one day, things can be different. I'm sorry that got quite dark, but it's the truth. I wouldn't blame you if you want to talk about something else. What else can I do for you? He's an inspiration. The amount of people needing to be patched up in Outer Vegas will remain the same so long as our current lifestyle remains the same. Once we change those conditions, people might not need to kill each other just to eat. For recognizing that, Hosea will always have my respect. Alright, I hope I don't see you again soon, because it means you aren't hurt, you know?
Have you seen a catheter? Ooh, those things scare the shit out of me.
Ah, you're back. How's life treating you, friend? Very well. I'll do what I can to answer. Ah, excellent. I chose Firewater Cave to hide from the NCR, not just because it's out of their reach. Let me explain. During my traveling days, I came across a Poseidon Energy call center. This was back west, before I started my war against the NCR. Those sorts of places, if you're lucky, could have spare medical supplies hidden in a first aid locker. That's if you're willing to take the risk. Kids these days think they know best. You ought to listen to your elders. You might learn something once in a while. Now, where was I? Oh, right. I found more than just meds that day. A couple of terminal entries and a pair of coordinates led me out here to this cave. I also found a bunch of bizarre-looking keycards inside. Not sure what they do, other than the one that unlocks the bunker door down next to Beth. We did, but it was far too dangerous. We nearly got overwhelmed. Honestly, we're lucky to be alive. I should have known it would have been dangerous when I read it belonged to Poseidon Energy. When Poseidon is involved, you can never underestimate what could be lying in wait. The terminal entries mentioned a name, Paul Reeves. Think he was some company executive who managed a joint project with Voltech. Both of those companies, based on everything I've read, were military contractors for the old U.S. government, on at least one occasion. So, that means we could be sat on a military stockpile if those coordinates are correct. Well, I like your enthusiasm anyway. We'd greatly appreciate your help. We'll throw some caps your way for sure. My thinking is that there's maybe something inside that can help in our struggle against the NCR. See what you can find. If you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them. I know how it sounds. You must think I'm treating you like you're expendable. I actually need you more than you know. The fact that you managed to track us down, against all odds, proves that you're a very capable merc. You might be the only one capable of surviving down there. We don't actually know what to expect, other than the ghouls we managed to escape from. I don't know exactly. When we first arrived, I sent Paula alongside a small group down to scout the bunker out to see what we were dealing with. They had to retreat from a large pack of feral ghouls. We're lucky that there was no casualties. The ghouls must have came out to hunt before we arrived. We've been here a few months now, so God knows if they're still alive down there. If you're lucky, they might have starved to death since we last ventured inside. If not, be careful as they'll be incredibly hungry. Also, in most of these military bunkers, security bots are usually a big problem, so you might want to be prepared for those too. Not much more than most people, I'm afraid. Used to be a pre-war energy company. Pretty sure they built that old Enclave oil rig just off the coast of San Francisco. I remember reading stories from those that managed to escape that hellhole. It's the kind of thing that'd haunt you until the day you die. Any company willing to throw their backing behind those monsters has no empathy. So that should tell you all you need to know about them. Be careful. Okay, good. Take this key card. It's the one I mentioned that unlocks the door down next to Beth. Also, Dexter should be able to help you out if you need any particular weapons or ammunition. And finally, good luck. Try not to get eaten down there.
Welcome back. What can Dexter do for you? Ideally, I'd give you all this for free, but we have to manage what we have carefully. You're better off than most here, so I'm gonna have to ask you to pay.
Right behind you, Chief. Well, not like right behind you, but you know what I mean.
There. politicians, are they? Your funeral.
After thoroughly looking at those plans, that place seems locked up tighter than Alcatraz. I also discovered that this place wasn't built up to standard. While the thickness of the lead is rarely a problem, the entire thing was a rush job. The ventilation shafts have a very small gap that wasn't accounted for during the construction phase, or maybe it just wasn't properly tested. The architect responsible is either incompetent or ignorant. And to be honest, I don't know which one is more damning.
Doctor's log, November 15, 2077. Things have stabilized around here faster than all original expectations. No rads on any of our people either. Thank God everyone's safe, even if we're all a little shook up still. Gray tells me the lead-lined walls have kept the radiation out. Weird. The instruments outside haven't picked up any ionization. Must be a fault caused by the strike. Maybe they're busted? Best to keep locked up for now. It's not worth the risk of checking.
go! Right.
Doctor's Log, February 26, 2078. Perhaps we were too optimistic with our original readings. It wasn't the walls that kept the radiation out. Turns out that Vegas wasn't actually hit. We braved a few expeditions, and it turns out House was able to destroy the bombs before they could impact. However, the walls had some unanticipated gaps, according to Gray, and we're now suffering from the effects of exposure to nuclear fallout. We've got a decent supply of Radaway, which should allow us to get by. However, we'll need a long-term solution, and fast. Hopefully we can get that bastard Reeves to open the vault door. We're willing to let bygones be bygones, but so far all we've had is radio silence. Hopper will find a way through. I'm sure of it. Doctor's Log, August 10, 2079. We're not gonna last much longer. Parker and his cronies deserted us and took the Radaway with them in the night. My years of medical experience haven't helped one bit. I've never seen a condition like this. Skin's starting to fall off Valentine. Looks like his entire physiology is changing too. There's enough to write several papers on, but honestly, I've no idea what I'm looking at. Well, we gotta look on the bright side, don't we? Love to see the end of the world. Not many people can say the same.
Do everything I can.
Ah, you're back. How's life treating you, friend? Well, I guess that explains Vault-Tech's involvement with this place. Did you manage to get inside? Ah, damn. Wait, maybe that's what this other keycard opens. I'm not gonna lie to you, this is a pretty difficult decision. Where there's a vault, there's normally people inside. I don't think opening their vault door without their permission will make them too happy. I think the risk is worth it, though. We need to make first contact with the residents. They need to know that society still exists outside that steel door. If we're lucky, we might get some new allies to join our fight. With the NCR's similarities with the pre-war government, perhaps the residents narrowly escaping nuclear hellfire might sway them in our direction. I'm sure their grandparents' stories will have left quite an impression. I'm still skeptical about this entire thing, though. With Poseidon Energy having a stake in this place, I can't help but feel the specter of the Enclave is involved in some way. So I urge you to keep your wits about you. There is something fishy going on here for sure. I can answer whatever questions I can if you have any. Other than the ones I've already given you? I'm not sure. Those are the only ones I've found in that call center, I'm afraid. I don't think that would be a good idea. The vault doors opening to a group of armed individuals might give a bad impression. Something tells me that would come across as rather intimidating to people used to living a comfy life in a vault. I really hope it doesn't come to that. What I'd say is that you're free to defend yourself if they attack you. I'd advise you pull back when you can, and we can come up with a plan to either evacuate or take the vault. This is all hypothetical, though. There's a good chance it doesn't come to that, though, if we're lucky. Good. Hopefully, the next time we speak, we'll have a comfy Vault-Tech home to sleep in. Maybe that's just wishful thinking on my part, though. Take this keycard. I think this'll open the door you mentioned. Good luck.
I may as well start to log my work as I go. Rachel says my memory is not what it used to be. I only left the oven on that one time. But when she thinks she's right, she usually is. I'll need to see Dr. Delacroix about upping my medication sometime soon. Anyway, I started looking over the blueprints of this little bunker, which happened to include the layout of this entire cave system. Might help us find another way into Reeves's little shelter. I hope the cash Vault-Tech saved building this bunker was worth our lives down here. Delacroix says there's no more Radaway in the stockpile. Don't worry, Rachel. Looks like I'll be joining you up there sooner than I expected.
This is Security Chief Brian Holloway on the official opening day of Vault 23. Molly and HR did a really good job today handing out the vault suits. I'm impressed at how quickly everyone fell in line after everything that's happened. Sure, there was a bit of a panic and some crying here and there. I feel like we're all on the same page that way. Still, I expected a bit more trouble with the nuclear apocalypse and all. I'm not complaining though. Makes my job a hell of a lot easier. Speaking of which, I had a brief look at the stock of security supplies. It seems we're lacking in batons and security armor. Reeves assures me that this is fine, and he says that we have the ability to mass-produce robots down here. An automated police force. He's starting to make me feel useless in my old age.
Drinking that, huh? Braver than I.
This area clear. Commencing attack on hostile target.
That's how you imagine it.
Failure state. Hold it right there.
There.
You're gonna learn how Uncle Sam deals with commie maggots.
You're through, son.
These fucking ants, man! They won't stop coming! The others, I boosted up to safety. If Hayes can open the vault door, they can escape to the bunker above. I'm hoping at least some of us can get away from those bots.
Mark Jesse, signing off. Semper Fi.
Never was much of a drinker myself. Tastes like battery acid. I always wondered if it was a malfunction.
Hate to put you down.
sure this is the place you want to drink? All right.
Marchesi here. We're pinned down in the diner. Don't worry, I've got a plan. I've told the others not to worry. If this goes wrong, let this be a record of what happened here. Reeves is a monster and has us working our asses off for scraps. If it goes right, he'll learn why he should never fuck with a Marine.
Hostile target detected. Hostile target
Don't worry, it's just a security precaution. Security Chief Holloway tells me recording all meetings is mandatory from now on. The only people this will affect are the criminals, so you all have nothing to worry about. Anyway, back to the purpose of this meeting. You might be thinking, Molly, we can't be bothered with this meeting after everything that's happened. Let us get on with our jobs. Well, you're right to raise concerns, but don't worry. The company has you covered. These type of nights are good for team bonding and relaxation. Plus, any who come along will be able to see movies from Mr. Reeves' holotape collection. He's got the biggest sci-fi collection I've ever seen. Why join the union when you're well looked after, huh?
Scanning for hostiles. Failure state. All failures detected. Hostile target identified.
Doesn't have to be the day you die.
You're through, son.
Hayes here. I'm not sure what's happened to Cooper. Davis saw Vault security take him from his dorm, and ever since then, he's nowhere to be found. Could be that Reeves has overstepped the line trying to intimidate us into submission. Technically, he can do whatever he wants down here. If we're not allowed to make our voices heard about something as simple as food rationing, then what can we do?
Please step into the open and identify yourself. Area secure. Commencing attack on hostile target.
Oh, last rodeo.
Hold it right there. dangerous fugitive is on the loose. Do not attempt to apprehend multiple failures detected. And barely unable to continue.
Take cover!
Failure
Underestimate us again.
Reeves's security bots are bringing order back to the vault. I just need to wait it all out. Everything will be back to normal tomorrow morning. The bots will know I've been loyal, right?
Marchesi here. Can't say I'm hating my first few days here. Beats sweeping for mines on Anchorage, praying I didn't get frostbite. Julia and the kids seem fairly happy. They do complain about the food, though. I keep hearing about how different the corn tastes.
Hold it right
it honestly
there.
Isn't so bad. Next time, Wayne's gonna tell them about the MREs we used to get. They'll want to vomit.
I wish Reeves would give me a damn minute. He even said himself that this situation needs to be handled delicately. But no, he says it's been long enough, and he wants me to take care of Cooper tonight. If it were up to me, we just need to find some dirt on this guy. They've all got something they want to keep hidden. Guess that plan is out the window. I'll go over there later tonight with a squad and persuade him to come quietly.
Now they won't see us coming.
You must be bloody stupid if you can't hide from me!
The day you die.
Ready to die for your country, you commie son of a bitch?
Your funeral.
Box me up and ship me home.
Went to see the doc yesterday. He recommended I take as much rest as I can. He said excess stress could prolong the recovery period. I told him there's a fat chance of me managing to avoid all the stressors of this damn vault. Some days I wish I just went with the blast, like everyone else. But then I remember that the Lord blessed me and Anna. I will keep this entire vault running for that bundle of joy in her belly. This place will be the future of humanity, even if it kills me. Our supplies of pre-war food have started to shrink. I'm glad to see that my push on the board for diversifying Poseidon's interests has paid off. For those lights, we'd all be starving down here. It's a shame thinking of all the money we could have made. No matter. This place is everything I pictured it to be. Makes me think I've died and went to heaven. Well, only when I don't need to hear Cooper's shrill little voice complaining. What a blowhard. We won. But at what cost? We don't have much of a workforce left to attend to the crops. It'd just be me, Anna, and our child. Along with what's left of the security team. No, I won't condemn a child to live an empty life in what's left of this hellhole. There's no fucking way I allow it. There's only one thing left to do here.
Halt. Facial recognition scan failed. Identify yourself or you will be forcefully removed from the area. Hacking is a violation of the agreement between you, the employee, and Mr. Reeves. Please do not resist or violent force will be utilized.
Can't catch us, we're too quick! Good team, huh?
Ah, it's you. You survived. I really hope you managed to convince those residents to help us. We're gonna need it. Dead? Everyone? This is not what we need right now. I need you ready for combat, stranger. Make sure you've loaded your magazines and got all the stems you can carry. We're cornered. The NCR has us surrounded outside and are demanding our surrender. Damn right I'm scared. But I won't go down without a fight. We haven't given them any notion we're here, so they won't know for certain. However, there's no way they leave without thoroughly checking this cave. It's only a matter of time before they blow the door down and assault the cave. You've probably got the most combat experience out of everyone here, so I'll need you to take point. I hope you're okay with that. Make it fast. We don't have much time. Yes, deadly serious. Don't worry, I'll get the people into a position ready to ambush as soon as the shooting starts. You won't be alone. Any more questions? We don't have the kind of tech you'd see lying around a Brotherhood bunker, I'm afraid. Looks like they slipped in between our patrols. I just wouldn't have thought that they'd have found us this easily. As far as I know, there's only one way into this cave. It was supposed to be sheltered from nuclear fallout as much as possible. Even if there were, I know what kind of scum Wilson likes to handpick. Any stragglers would be massacred, just like the cons at Bitter Springs. We're running out of time. I recommend being quick with the rest of your questions. That's the safest option for sure. You're welcome to try and persuade them to leave, but I don't recommend it. Rangers are the inquisitive type, though. They leave no stone unturned. I can guarantee it's that lapdog Wilson. She's not stopped sniffing my trail for as long as I can remember. I'm hoping you can end this once and for all. Any more questions? Good. It's about time we got rid of this pest. Let me know when you're ready and I can get the people into position. Be careful. I'm pretty sure it's Wilson out there. She's one of the sharpest shots in the Rangers. We'll be there to back you up as soon as the shooting starts. Keep her busy near the door, and we'll attack on your signal. Good luck.
Oh, look who it is! It's nice seeing you again, my fellow Vulture. Wasn't just me expecting a party or something after joining, was it? Ah, well, maybe another time after we retake Vegas, huh? Anyway, what can I do for you? Not so great. The contact didn't turn up to the meeting point. We're supposed to meet a guy called Clarence, and he just didn't show. I hope nothing bad happened to him. I brought the schedule here. We won't be able to put it to use until we get it into the hands of some field agents, though. At least, that's what Hosea tells me. Oh, you did? I hope he's doing all right. I worry that he'll get a bit lonely without much company. I'll have to stop by sometime and see him for old time's sake. Be seeing you.
That's
playing hide and seek?
I get it. Sometimes things require a quiet approach.
Hold your fire, everyone! It's the mercenary I hired to track that son of a bitch Hosea down. Well, well. Long time no see. I thought you'd forgotten about us. But it seems like you just forgot to report in. Now, I wonder, did you really forget, or has Hosea poisoned another against us? I suppose that is understandable. As you can see, we've got Hosea and his pack of rats cornered. If you really want to prove your loyalty, you can join us. We're about to breach in the next few minutes. You're either with or against us. No ifs and buts. So what'll it be? Oh, for fuck's sake, don't tell me you've fallen for Hosea's lies too. Why couldn't you have been a good little merc and just followed the caps? Tell me why. What did that asshole tell you? Nonsense. Hosea is a liar. Without us, this place would be a pure wasteland, and you'd all be living under the thumb of the fiends. All the Republic's critics are the same. They think it's all easy, but they don't realize that sometimes you've gotta crack a few eggs. So let's start with you.
Ah, so you killed that squad then. Good. Wilson won't make our lives hell from now on. I wouldn't feel any guilt if I were you. That was very much a kill or be killed scenario. The same will happen again if they try anything similar. I'm praying they don't send any more troops our way. Once we tie up a few loose ends, we might need to relocate just to be safe. You came through with the vault and with the defense of Firewater Cave. For that, you should be very proud. Going down there was dangerous. Before, you mentioned everyone was dead. What happened? As you no doubt saw, rebellion was a feature of the old world too. Even back then, people fought back against those they considered to be monsters. Some things never change, I'm afraid. I'm curious, what do you think? Were the people of Vault 23 right to rebel? It seems like the barons of the NCR are more similar to the executives of the old world than we knew. The people of Vault 23 tried to remove the greedy parasite. Seems like they were ultimately too late. This won't be the case for Vegas. We still stand a chance if we stand together. Back to business, though. did you manage to find anything related to Vault-Tec or Poseidon that could help us? Hydroponics? Here? Oh, that's great news. Do you know how useful that could be for the people of Vegas? Where are the plans? On your Pip-Boy? Let's take a look at those. Come here. Truly incredible. This could feed the whole of Vegas if we maintain this right. I'll have to talk more with Dexter. These lights look really easy to work with. With a few UV lamps on hand, calibrating them shouldn't be difficult. Scavenging those things will be the hard part. Either way, this could be our chance to show the people of Vegas that we're on their side. We could feed so many. Solve many of our supply issues as well. You really think I'd let the people starve? If this leads those who are fed to the vultures, then I'd call that a win-win. You can judge me in all manner of ways, but don't doubt my commitment to feeding the poor. Despite your feelings on me, you deserve a reward. Take it. You're also welcome at Firewater Cave if you ever need somewhere to sleep or restock any ammunition or stems. One last thing. I have another important task for you. I need you to find a woman named Joan Harris in Freeside. Give her this letter. It contains a meeting location for the delivery of essential supplies for those desperate in Freeside. With the potential yields from those hydroponic lights, we can afford it. Now, before you go, is there anything else I can do for you? No problem. Come back whenever you want to chat.
Wandering off without your bodyguard again? I get it.
Yeah? You look like you want something. Do I know you? Shh, not so loud. The followers don't take too kindly to that name. Give it here. This is great news. We'll try and get this distributed in the best way we can. With their bodyguards, the muggers shouldn't be much of a problem. We won't forget this. Hosea can count on us in the future. Thank you for your kindness, friend. I should probably go get started making preparations, unless there's something else I can do for you. He and his friends like to help out the community however they can. But there's some folks around here that doubt him still. Those people don't know what they're talking about. He's kept my family's belly full on more occasions than I can count. We'll help him in any way we can when the time comes. Now, do you want anything else? You mean my accent? Yeah, me and my family aren't from here. We're from a place which I think you Americans call England. There's not much of an England left, I'm afraid. Me and my husband escaped all the fighting on a ship owned by a man called Tenpenny. Working on the ship kept us in work for a while. My husband had some experience with construction, and me in security. So once we docked, Tenpenny had plenty of work for us in helping renovate some old tower in the capital. But eventually, Tenpenny had to let us go. We weren't the clientele he was looking for. His words, not ours. So we've been on the move ever since. We kind of like it here, despite the current circumstances. Hosea and his kind are helping make this place better. Just wait and see. All right, if you say so.
Another beautiful day in the most the world.
You ever run into one of those people who sing to themselves to fill silence? Fucking annoying.
Listeners say the new programming is, quote, less for outcasts, more for weirdos. Also in the headlines, the influx of displaced residents.